Good afternoon and welcome to the Tameside Reporter Sports Show. We're at the Butcher's Arms this week ahead of the big derby between Droylsden and Hyde tomorrow. We'll also be hearing from Mossley, where the club are hoping to raise £18,000 to upgrade Seal Park, and we'll be speaking to an Ashton weightlifter ahead of his Commonwealth Games debut in April. Well, the big news this week comes in the Northern Premier League, where clubs have voted for an East-West split at level 4 next season. The move comes after the Football Association's decision to create new divisions covering the Midlands. So Mark, can you tell us what it really means for our clubs yet?
Probably not at the moment. Obviously we'll know more next season once this season's over, but what I can tell you is that 37 clubs voted for the change, with 27 opting to continue with the current north-south divide. There was one abstention and 3 clubs decided not to bother going to the meeting, but I think it's the biggest decision in the Northern Premier League since 2004, and it will have massive repercussions for our local sides.
And where you think it was financially driven, this decision, wasn't it, for most clubs?
I mean, it's got to be. We always talk about sort of money in football at this level, and some of the numbers that they're banding about are unbelievable. Saving £100,000 a season, sort of things like that. It'll shave 1 week, I think, off the season, won't it? And that should increase attendances. They're saying things like up to 30% is the numbers that we've seen mooted. So
I think it's meant to decrease midweek games as well. So obviously attendances are bigger on a Saturday afternoon, so it should be a good thing.
Well, the big game this weekend is here at the Butcher's Arms when Droylsden host Hyde. Droylsden had a great start to this season but have struggled since the turn of the year, and Dave Pacey's side have yet to win a game in 2018. Hyde, on the other hand, are continuing their great form. They sit second in the table, just 1 point behind leaders South Shields, so it should be a fantastic game at the weekend, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously Hyde doing really well this season, second in the table, just 1 point below leaders South Shields, so if they do want to have ambitions of claiming that title, I think they need to win tomorrow. As for Droylsden, they need to win as well. They've not won in 2018, that speaks volumes. If they do have ambitions of forging their way into the playoffs, I think they're going to have to pick up at least a point tomorrow.
And it's been a while since either side played, really, because of the weather. So when was the last time they played?
Droylsden beat 4-1 by Tadcaster. Was it 2 weeks ago? That now? Yeah. And I think Hyde beat Kendal 3-0, 3-1. 3-1's what I've got here, so we'll go with that. Yeah, so it's like we say, Droylsden. It was similar last year, wasn't it? Turn of the year they couldn't win. What happens?
Yeah, it's a common trait here at the Butcher's Arms. They seem to get off to a flyer, but once the new year hits, they just seem to go on a downward spiral. But obviously, Dave Pace got a lot of experience in non-league football. Hopefully, he can turn it around and bring on a late push.
Well, next Tuesday, Droylsden travel to Bamber Bridge, while Hyde make the journey to Ossett Albion. In the Evo Stick First Division North, Mossley travel to Colne this weekend, while Glossop host bottom club Goole. Off the pitch at Seal Park, Mossley are hoping to raise £18,000 towards ground improvements. Mark spoke to committee member Matthew Hayton earlier this week.
£18,000 is the big target that we're looking for. There's 3 things we want to do in particular. The first, if we raise £2,000, is to resurface the driveway into Seal Park. The approach at the moment is a bit shocking. It's not a nice experience for anyone who's needs to use a wheelchair or has difficulty walking. It would be a much nicer experience for them. If we raise £10,000, we'll do the driveway, and then we'll do some further work to our changing rooms, which do need upgrading. We've done some great work on those so far with the help of some club sponsors. But if we get to £18,000, we'll do the driveway, we'll do the changing rooms, and we'll replace some of the roofing at Seal Park, particularly that around the social club, which really does need doing because that's a great source of income for the club.
So where's all this come from? Have you been forced to do it through league regulations?
Some of it is league regulations. We do need to meet some of those in order to kind of comply with what the league wants us to do, but it's off our own back as well. We want to do more for Mossley, and we think that Mossley deserves better facilities. If we can do the changing rooms, that means all our teams come in-house, if you like, and they can use the pitch more, the ground more. The changing facilities would be much better for home and away teams of all ages. And also the social club, we've got such a busy kind of social scene at Seal Park. On Mondays we've got our disabled club, on Wednesdays we've got our youth club, and our facilities are free to hire for anyone in the town if they want to, so it's a chance for us to give something back.
Brilliant stuff. So if you do raise the £18,000, is the grand idea to bring the youth teams into Seal Park as well?
Certainly the kind of the 5-year-old, I think it is up to about 16 years old, that we want to bring in a bit more. We do use it at the moment, but we just can't cope with the volume, if you like, and our facilities just aren't good enough at this point. They're quite old. We make do as we are, but yeah, it's about bringing more into Mossley and giving back to our community.
So on another point, if you were offered the opportunity to have a 3G pitch at Seal Park, would you take it?
I think that's something we'd certainly have to consider. The issue is funding. We know how expensive those pitches are. It's something I think a lot of clubs at our level are looking at. And were we to ever get something like that, and it would certainly enhance the facilities for the town and further afield, we'd be able to use it 7 days a week hopefully, and we'd become self-sufficient that way.
Brilliant stuff. So if people do fancy going to Seal Park, maybe just for a beer on a weeknight, is the clubhouse always open?
The clubhouse is open on certain nights of the week. Like I say, there's things going on Monday and Wednesdays. Particularly on Friday, we've got a really active social scene. Saturdays, we've got football on usually, and then on Sundays we have Sunday club. So yeah, generally, their opening hours, we are there to be used.
Fantastic stuff. So taking a look at matters on the pitch this season, you're currently mid-table, been a bit up and down. What's your take been on the season so far?
It has been mixed. There have been some really good highs and some lows. Our away form is probably one of those lows, but our home form this year has improved dramatically. We are really solid at home, and we've seen an increase of over 51% in attendances at Seal Park. I think that's something that we're really proud of this season, and that's thanks to the team.
So Mark, good initiative there by Mossley. How are they getting on so far?
I think they've raised £1,460 the last time I checked anyway, and that was on Wednesday afternoon. £18,000, it's a massive target. In my opinion, it might be too big an ambition, but hopefully if there's some rich benefactor in Tameside that can help out, then please get in touch with the club.
Well, of course, all the games this weekend are subject to the weather, but if they do go ahead, Curzon will travel to Darlington in the National League North, while in the Evo Stick Premier Division, Ashton host Halesoe in town, while Stalybridge Celtic travel to Workington. We're going to end this week with a bit of weightlifting news. Alex Collier from Ashton is set to make his Commonwealth Games debut in April. The 23-year-old will represent Team England at the competition, which is taking place on the Gold Coast in Australia. Mark spoke to him ahead of the games.
It's been my dream to get to a Commonwealth Games, so to actually be able to do it, I'm happy to have been.
So how did you first get involved with weightlifting? Because obviously it's not really a mainstream sport, is it?
No, it's not. Basically, the local club at the time, it was Olympic Dragons. They came into my school and did trials. I tried it. I was alright. It wasn't the best, but I kept training hard, and eventually I got to where I am now and just stuck at it.
So obviously I've just watched your training programme then. Apparently you do something like, is it 15 hours of training a week?
At least, 15 to 18 hours a week, yeah.
So that's a lot of dedication to put in for this one particular sport.
Yeah.
What do you do on top of the training in terms of nutrition and stuff like that?
Well, obviously I watch what I eat, look at the right foods that I need, and protein, the right carbohydrates, the right fats to make my training better, make my recovery better. So there's a lot of like weighing out what foods I eat and what type of foods, and making my food every day for the next day, and so on and so on. There's so much to do.
So there's two phases in weightlifting, clean and jerk and the snatch. Can you tell us what each one consists of?
Well, the snatch is the first lift, and that's when you have a wider grip on the bar, and it's from straight from the floor to above head. You get 3 attempts at that, and then you move on to the clean and jerk. The clean and jerk is, the grip is a lot narrower. It goes into your chest first and then above your head, and you get 3 attempts at both. And your biggest snatch and your biggest clean and jerk gets added up to 1 total, and the biggest total wins.
So obviously you are going to the Commonwealth Games, you want to make your mark there. What are you hoping to achieve?
I'd like for a top 5 finish. It's obviously my first Commonwealth Games, there's a lot of experienced lifters in my category, so if I can get a top 6, top 5, then I'll be really happy with that.
And you've already been to a Commonwealth Championships, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, my first Commonwealth Championships was in India in 2015. It's similar to the Games, but it's just for weightlifting, it's not other sports. And then my second Commonwealth Championships was in Australia, the same venue we're going to for the Commonwealth Games, so I got to see all the venue, all the town, all the village, everything, so it was a great experience to see that and then go and do it at the Games as well.
Brilliant stuff. So what will you be doing in Australia apart from weightlifting?
hopefully a lot of sightseeing. And well, first we get into Brisbane first, not Gold Coast. We stay in Brisbane for a week and a half, I think, at a holding camp, and then we get to move into the village closer to the games, which is in Gold Coast. So get out, do a bit of travelling, try some different restaurants, try a bit of everything I can really, and then compete. And after that, have a bit of fun, just do some more sightseeing, etc.
Brilliant stuff. So are any family and friends going to be joining you?
Unfortunately not. My mum and dad are busy at the time. Obviously it's quite expensive as well to go to Australia, and my girlfriend will be working, so she can't get time off work.
Now, talking about money, funding in weightlifting has become an issue in recent years. Can you tell us a bit about that?
There actually, UK Sport cut the funding for weightlifting a few years ago, so both men and women do not get paid. So we've got to rely on either getting a job or sponsorships, and at the moment I'm working part-time as well as training full-time to benefit my weightlifting career.
So how much are you currently spending each week on weightlifting?
I'd say it's about between £50 and £70 a week on food alone, and you have your nutrition, like supplements, that's like, I say £20 a week on supplements, and then you got like, on weightlifting, kit. You can spend up to £100 a month on kit, travelling, trains, head to train or buses to the gym, going to competitions. Sometimes you've got to pay for your own competitions abroad as well, so flights, everything. You can literally be spending hundreds, maybe thousands a month, depending on what you're doing.
So it seems to be a real labour of love. How can people help you out financially? Can they donate to a Just Giving page or anything like that?
At the moment I don't have a Just Giving page, but I'm sure I can give my email out to people. They can email me if they want to sponsor me or want to give a donation or just help me out in general. Even just like sponsorships who just give me a kit, it's better than nothing, because then I don't have to pay for kit. And I'll say I've had food sponsorships in the past where they give me food, and it saves money overall, so anything will benefit me.
So you are training at Triple X gym in Staley Bridge, Adam Travis's place.
Yeah.
Is he a massive influence on you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Adam used to be a GB lifter himself. He was one of the best in his category. So having him as my coach, looking up to him and seeing what he did, it makes me feel better. Because if you've got someone coaching you who is good themselves, and you know you're with the right person, you can get to the right place eventually. And Adam's helped me out a lot, because obviously he runs his own gym. He'd give me the sponsorship so I can train in the gym for free, so I don't have to spend any of my money on gym memberships.
Brilliant stuff. So from now until you go to Australia on the 20th of March, what will your training consist of and stuff like that?
Well, I'll train Monday to Friday every day for about 3 to 4 hours sometimes. Each day is different. One day we're doing snatch-based exercises, next day we're doing clean jerk-based exercises, and obviously you have squats, deadlifts, and then upper body stuff, bodybuilding. It's really a mixture every day, different stuff, but it's always consisting of weightlifting or a bit of bodybuilding.
So you've been weightlifting for a good number of years now.
Yeah.
What's the worst injury you've picked up?
I have two that are quite equal. In 2014, I tore my labrum in my shoulder, which is a cartilage, so I tore that. And I did the same injury, but in my hip in 2016. Both took about 6 months to get back, surgery in both.
So did that ever put you off weightlifting? Was there ever a point where you thought, nah, I've had enough of this, it's a 6 month
No, not really, because I find I'm in love with the sport most when I'm injured, because you can't do it. Once you're doing it, sometimes you hate it when you're doing it, 'cause it's hard work and it kills your body. But when you're training and your body feels, when you're injured and your body feels fine, you miss it the most.
So Alex mentioned there, Mark, a lack of funding in the sport, but there's ways people can help out a local lad.
Yes, like I said in the video then, if you want to donate financially, then I'll upload the contact details to the TamesideReporter.com. If you want to donate kit and stuff like that, he's just said then, it's costing up to £100 a month just in supplements and food. You know, it's a massive total of money, especially when he's only working part-time. So if you do want to get in touch with Alex, then his contact details have been uploaded to the TamesideReporter.com.
Excellent, and good luck to Alex at the Commonwealth Games in April. That's all we've got time for this week, but don't forget, for a more in-depth roundup of sports across the borough, you can tune into the Sporting Spotlight with Mark tonight at 6 o'clock on Tameside Radio.